I just basically watched the whole reunion, like, what the fuck? Love Island USA Season 6, the reunion. I'm watching this in the UK on ITVX, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't wait until this morning to watch it because I knew there was going to be drama, so I watched it on Saturday night. It was so dramatic. I believe the reunion was on in America 3 weeks ago, and I'm not up to date with what's happening right now, but at the time, Kendall, Serena, Miguel, Leah, and Janae and Kenny are all couples now. They didn't really have much to say, but the rest of it was pretty dramatic. Ariana asked Kendall and Nicole how they were getting on, and it was not good, to say the least. And everybody knows that Kendall was my favourite person in the house, so I was really surprised when I found out that the two of them weren't having a good time. They didn't go into full details on the show, but I went and found out what happened. So basically there was a video leaked to Kendall, and he told Nicole that it was a video he sent to an ex and it was somebody he trusted, but she later found out that it was a video he sent to somebody he'd never met on a dating website. I went and watched a YouTube video to find out what happened, and people were saying, oh, it wasn't a good look for Nicole, she was playing the victim. And at the time I thought that he had sent this video when he got out the villa, but it turns out that he sent the video when he was in the hotel room in Fiji just before he went on the show. And I kind of thought to myself, well, he's a grown man, he knows that he's going to be on a reality TV show and people are going to recognise him, so let's be honest, what did he think was going to happen? I'm not trying to be nasty here, like, most of us have done things when we've been younger, we've sent videos or like whatever else, but he is literally a grown man and he knew that he was going to be on TV, so I don't really understand what he was thinking at the time. So she was really upset, obviously, because he lied to her, and he says, I didn't know what to think at the time, like I couldn't even speak to my mum and dad about it. And once again, I thought, aye, okay, he was embarrassed, but what the fuck's his mum and dad going to say about it? Do you know what I mean? He's an adult, like, I don't know. It was just, it made it worse, the way he was trying to justify the fact that he lied to her. Why didn't he just tell her the truth? And then people were attacking Nicole as if she was the one in the wrong. Aye, okay, I think that she exaggerated considering the video was sent before he went on the show. The way she was acting, it was as if it happened when they'd came out, but I don't know, it was just so dramatic. When Nicole was sitting there crying, she kind of felt as if everybody was ganging up on her because they were all taking Kendall's side. Apart from Serena, she was like, look, if somebody lied to me, that's it, it would be over, but I believe in second chances. But then she turned round to Janae and she says, oh, what would you have done if that was Kenny? And Janae was like, oh, if he lied to my face, I would be upset about it, but then if he came to me and said, like, I was embarrassed or whatever, I didn't know what to say at the time, I would forgive him. And I thought, would she? Because Janae doesn't take any shit. Let me know in the comments if you think that Nicole's reaction was an overreaction and if you thought she should have just forgave him because he was embarrassed and because it happened before the show. But while we're on the subject of Janae, she was fucking stunning at that reunion. Like, when she was on the show, I was like, aye, she's a good looking girl. But when she was on I couldn't stop looking at her. I was like, ah, she is fucking beautiful, right? I kept saying to my pal, oh my god, look at how stunning she is. And they were like, aye, because she's caked in makeup. And I was like, she might be caked in makeup, right, but she was absolutely beautiful. And then when they were talking to different people, she pulled out this list. It was like however many pages, and she was pulling people up about the stuff they'd said on podcasts and stuff like that. And I was like, yes, that is me. I'd have the evidence. I'd be like, ah, what have you got to say about this? I was pissing myself at her. And then when they were talking to, I can't remember her name, but the blonde girl who was with Rob and they voted her out, and they says, oh, how do we move on for this? And she was just like, keep Leah's name out your mouth. That's it, move on, it's as simple as that. And I was like, she's vicious. So there was a whole thing about Leah, and they were talking to her about her social media, and she was saying that before she went in she had 12,000 followers on Instagram and now she's got over 3 million. And I still don't understand how she came in second, but apparently people really like her. So they were talking about when Rob said that she took a back seat to Andrea getting voted out, and they were like loving all that, were apologising to her, and they were saying like, that's not what you said, I should have like questioned it and I should have looked into it more instead of just coming to you and attacking you. And even at the time, I thought that she said that she took a back seat, so I was on here like, she's a liar, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out that that's actually not what was said. Oopsie. So even though it turns out that Andrea was a bit of a bitch, I actually felt a bit bad for her because she says that since she's been out the house, people have been basically bullying her online and she's been having a hard time. And I do feel bad for her because it's my dream in life to be on Big Brother, and I'm one of those people who's like chalk and cheese. You're either going to love me or hate me, and I don't hold back my thoughts, and it can get me in trouble sometimes because obviously I'm very forward, and some people don't like that. Some people are intimidated by it. Some people think it's just rude as fuck. But I think something in my head and then it comes out my mouth and that's it. But if I had to go on Big Brother as well, because I've got a Scottish accent, a lot of English people are intimidated by Scottish accents, or they just think that they sound rude, or they'll make stupid comments like, oh, I can't understand what they're saying. Like, clearly you can. I can understand all the accents in the UK. All of a sudden English people can't understand what Scottish people are saying. It really pisses me off. So that's one of the things like that bothers me. I wish that you could just go and do one of these shows and then come out and then kind of just go back to your normal life. Unless you want to be like famous. Do you know what I mean? What confused me about the show as well is when the cast were going in to do the interview, there was loads of people outside screaming and all that, and I thought, did the show pay them to be there? Surely people didn't pay a lot of money or whatever to go and watch this. Like, why would you stand outside and scream for somebody who was on Love Island? Like, I love Big Brother, and I never would have went to a Big Brother reunion show and been like, oh my god, like, that person's so famous. Do you know what I mean? That must have been set up. So even though I watched the whole show, I did seem to misjudge Leah a little bit. So maybe I just wasn't paying as much attention as I thought. So they were speaking to Aaron and Kayla, and they were saying, how's things? Well, I was not expecting this. I must admit that a couple of weeks ago I did see a small clip online saying that Kayla and Aaron had split up, but I didn't look into it, and I just thought that maybe they had came out the house and he cheated on her or something, because let's face it, he's a complete dick. So when they were sitting talking, they were saying that they met up in Fiji and they'd been together in the hotel room and everything was going well. But then when Ariana says to him, like, what's happened? I wasn't expecting it. He said, oh, I wasn't fully honest with Kayla, and when I was in Casa, like, I put my hand down Daniela's pants. The way he just came out with it, right? I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't he tell her that? He had all those weeks to tell her. And then looking back now, when they were talking to him about Casa, and he was like, it was my experience and I done what I wanted and I did it because I wanted, like, just being an absolute fucking child. And then the fact that he tried to gaslight her and make out as if, like, it's fine, we only kissed, when he had his hand down her pants. He's just such a fucking boy. Like, I actually can't stand him. But for once, Kayla actually turned around and says, I'm not going to cry over you, she swapped seats with Liv. And she's like, I wasted my whole summer on one person and you lied to me. And that's the first time that you've ever actually seen her stand up for herself. And I kind of thought to myself, do you know what, see if she'd have done this to start off with, she wouldn't be in this situation. So even though he's a complete dick, she should have done something at the time, and she maybe would have met somebody else, and her Love Island experience wouldn't have been wasted. And looking back on it now, it's very clear to see that he was only in it for the money. It's really a shame because I believe that Kayla was really in there for love. I also believe that Kendall was in there for love. And I believe that he did love Nicole. But all Nicole ever said to him was, be honest with me. I just asked that you be honest. And he couldn't even do that. And it's a shame to watch these people and think, oh, like, they've got a genuine connection. They really like each other. And then they split up just like that as soon as they leave the house. And it's quite sad. Let me know what you thought of the reunion. And if you like reality TV, then hopefully come back and see me again, because it's time. It's time for Big Brother UK. I'll see you in October. Bye!